Am I on, Brad? Hi, Bathurst. It's me. No Scott, no Austin, no Jonathan, just your lovely Amanda, who does not like to talk in public at all. Oh, yeah, I don't know. So I asked Austin what we should be covering today, and of course he said listings, 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 listings. He said he hasn't seen anything like this in 25 years. They're hard to come by. Does anybody have any success stories about any listings that they've gotten, or any tips or tricks for anyone else? That's
Yeah, I'm signing a listing today. So
oh, good. Is anyone noticing this, or is it just Austin?
I did three CMAs that they listed privately. For my price.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Success story.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's not a success story.
Thanks for
Alex.
encouraging us. Sakia story, sorry.
So
Talk
come
so
on,
that
you
Erica
got it.
and Tracy and the rest of the gang can hear you.
Hello, gang. I followed Austin's advice from the last meeting he was here for, in saying, like, making sure that when we're going into, a pre-listing presentation, I'm bringing the paperwork, and just whether people are, ready to list today or like 3 weeks from now, picking a date, making a plan around it, and leaving with the paperwork signed, because I'm worried that I'm gonna lose them as for sale by owner, because we're seeing a lot more of that, right?
Yeah, well, he mentioned too about like being cautious about posting like sold in one day or things like that, because then people are like, oh, well, then I can just pop it on Kijiji and maybe it will sell, right? It's too easy. Just to watch the wording around that was one of the things. Now, I'm not a real estate agent, so I have no idea, but I'm just going to take the advice from him. Yeah, so we all know we need to go get listings, so we're going to have 20 extras by next week. I don't even know how many we have on House Tour. What side of the river are we on?
North.
We have one? Okay, so we have one. So there should be more than that, so better luck next time. Okay, so next week we're going to have 10 on House Tour, and we're going to be on South Side, right?
Right.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so then he went on to say, okay, so the awards night, April 17th, Moncton, Crown Plaza. You should be getting an invite soon. Megan started a little Facebook group, but there'll be an invitation. You RSVP to me, as always. There's rooms available at a room rate until April 1st. Brittany sent out a link. We'll resend it again. It'll be really fun. It's kind of like the events committee's taken it all over this time. It's not just me doing it. It's Megan, Hillary, Trevor, Sammy out of Moncton. So they're making it a lot of fun. So I think it's going to be a red, white, and black affair or something like that. So yeah, they're making a theme around it, and it'll be fun. Yeah, so they're hoping that everybody can come. So is anybody coming? Raise your hand. All of you? No? Okay. So yeah, we'll send out more information on that. Bring your spouses or significant other, whomever. Yeah, and it's another way to be with your other real estate peers across the province. And I think they might be planning an educational event prior to it. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's Jeremy's committee, and he's in Florida. So anyways, we'll see when he gets back what he has to say. So I'm right in the middle of transmittal, and he said that some of you don't know what transmittal is. So transmittal is I take all the numbers from all your deals for the whole month from the whole province, and I submit that to Keller Williams, and that's how we come up with the profit share numbers, what everybody gets paid in their bank account on the 21st of the month, all of that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working my magic right now, but I'm out here at the moment. So February is looking, we won't be in a negative. It won't be as grand as I would have liked to see, but March is looking very positive, and then it will just go from there. So March, April, May, we're booming, but still listings. So we seem to have a challenge with those. DocuSign.
Yes.
Who's using DocuSign?
No.
Okay, wow.
I did a fake one through, like, from web forms, brought it to DocuSign, sent it to
Okay.
myself, I signed it, sent it back. But I'm too nervous to do it like with a real client yet, so I'm just kinda.
I fooled around with it a little bit.
Okay, so April 1st, Dotloop is going away.
Is that-
Jonathan's been saying that
is
for a
just
while.
Is that like an April Fool's thing?
No.
Tell me.
But we'll be able to
I
get
mean,
back and just look at our old
You're supposed to be able to, yes. So, if you don't know how to use DocuSign, ask Paula. Just
I could muddle my way through it here.
First of all, you need to go into Command and set up your DocuSign account. I have a little video that I've been sending to all new agents that I can share with you all so that you can at least go in. So the whole point of DocuSign is that it's going to be connected to Command. Command is where we are going to be doing our document management. Those filing cabinets out there are full of paper. They're not always going to be, like as of this year sometime when I figure it all out. I actually have a call with the admins on Friday. We're going to come up with a plan. We have some people that are submitting electronically. Erica and Bathurst is one of them. The Drisdale team has been doing it, but still providing paper, so they're also kind of playing around with it. We have some other people across the province too as well. So basically that would be your filing cabinet, but we would all have access to it. They've been talking about Command Mobile coming out, so I think that will help as well. But you would know what you've submitted always and when. So that's coming. So if you haven't got into DocuSign, now you don't have to use DocuSign. You can use another provider. You can pay for Dotloop and continue with them. But you still have to get your documents into Command under Opportunities in the Documents tab, and that's your file.
I didn't think you could bring it from DocuSign into Command until after all the parties have signed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, once your document is completed and
Right,
signed.
completed,
Yep.
that's just a holding,
Yeah.
holding room.
Jen, do you have any tips? You've been doing it for the Drisdales. No. Okay. Have you noticed anything like? Come on, Jen, share.
I like how I submit them, and then if, I'm assuming Gina
Yes, it's
Whoever
Gina right now.
goes
Yeah.
over it, and if there is something wrong or I'm missing something, it gives me a little notification. I go right into there, and she'll have like a little note saying,
Fill out your FinTrack, Drisdale team. No.
yeah, or name missing, or something
Yeah.
like that. So it's a really easy way to communicate with her.
Okay. Perfect. So DocuSign also, because I know Erica's on this call and she's not excited about the fact that there's no forms. We're still trying to work on that. Basically, MBREA has told us you're not supposed to have forms. So what we have in Dotloop right now, we are spoiled. Nobody else in the city has them, or the province.
So they go to web forms to get
They
them?
have to go through web forms. That is how they want you to do it. Dotloop did it for whatever reason. I know, it was awesome.
You have to connect your web forms to your DocuSign.
Yeah.
I haven't been on web forms in years. I don't
No.
even.
Well, it's a new platform now,
Yeah.
and it's called a dashboard, so you go
Transaction
in.
desk or something like that.
Yeah, and you start your transaction, but before anything is done on web forms to DocuSign, you have to literally sync your web forms to DocuSign.
Yeah, so you fill out everything on web forms. Then there's like a little pen button. You click the pen button and you pick DocuSign as the place you want to send it for electronic signature. If that is the way you want to use it, you can still fill it out on web forms and print it if you want and take it with you. But when you bring it over to DocuSign, you have to add the signatures and the initials.
So you can't save the templates in DocuSign from web forms?
Not fillable.
Okay.
You can save your template, like you can save your forms onto your computer and then upload them from that into
Yeah.
DocuSign.
Every time.
Yeah, like you could save a transaction kit in web forms that had everything you needed for a listing, everything you needed for a sale, everything you needed, whatever the other options are, and have them in each little transaction desk. So what they're called, basket. I don't know.
So
But
is
you have to
this
fill it
something
out.
that's going to be, is this something that's going to be updated eventually, or
Well, we're hoping,
if
but,
not, I'm sticking with dot loop.
okay, if you wanna stick with dot loop, you totally can. I don't even know what the fee amount was. $100 a month?
Oh,
30?
sorry, I'm wrong.
100 US, I think.
100 US?
Yeah.
A month?
In
A
between
month?
50 and 100 US, not sure, going with that.
I'll learn
We really want them, and I've talked to Dwayne Hayes about it, and DocuSign will not upload them because web forms is written on the bottom. So we need to find out if it's okay if we remove the web forms, so then DocuSign will do it. It's got something to do with the relationship between DocuSign and web forms, because they are affiliated, but then we also have our own account. So as of right now, so start playing with it, because when dot loop goes away, you don't want to be then trying to figure it out. So go into web forms, check out the new one. There's tons of videos. We'll have some in-class training and things. I'm not super familiar with it because I don't write listing agreements or purchase and sales, but I have gone into it. It was a little weird at first.
The hotline is no help. You may as well have gone over to
Okay.
KFC to get your information.
Okay, don't call the hotline.
Well, then at least it feels
Oh.
better for me to get
I could eat my misery away, I don't know.
Victoria has a question.
So I've obviously, I'm so loud, I don't need that.
Really loud.
So you have it pretty loud. So, okay, I'll
No,
take
no, I
it.
can hold it for you.
Really? I feel like a rock star. So I've always used dot loop. So at one point with web forms or DocuSign, are our clients signing from their end? Are we emailing, like with dot loop, we just share it. They get to sign.
Yeah, so
And
you
then
send
we
an
send it
envelope, is
off.
what they're called.
So is that DocuSign or web forms?
It's through DocuSign.
So it is in DocuSign.
Yeah.
So I can
Same form as
upload
dot loop.
unsigned documents to DocuSign? And then I send it
Yes.
to the people.
Web forms is only a place to get them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get
so I've
and
uploaded
fill
or
in the
uploaded them
forms
all right
on
now, but I
web
just
forms.
didn't know where. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We would like it to be, it's a one-stop shop, but
Yeah.
we're still kind of trying to figure that out. As of right now, it's not. And we have, like I said, gone to NBREA, have talked to DocuSign. Jonathan talked to them at Family Reunion with the person that does it, and she basically said you need to not have web forms on the bottom. Well, do those forms exist anywhere that you know of? Because I don't. I mean, there used to be paper forms, but they're kind of migrating to that's the only system, and they're always the up-to-date forms. That's kind of the mentality around it, and that's why they want you to use web forms, because when there's a change, that's where they are.
Yeah, you could be using an old,
You could be using an old form.
if you don't,
And
because
I
here
don't
now
know what
Jonathan or someone
implications.
updates them for us in dot loop.
Yeah,
So I always have
Jonathan
the
or
postcard.
myself. But yes, like when all the new matrix forms came out,
Yeah.
we had to download, like they weren't in there immediately because we had to wait until they were on web forms, download them, send them to dot loop,
Yeah.
right? So there's always going to be a delay. Whereas web forms is always up to date because that is where all the forms are. That's kind of where we're
So we
at.
should send
Now
them-
this is a Canada-wide thing. Like everyone in Canada is going to go through this, and some people do have connections. That I've heard them talking in different groups. So I don't know if they're going to try to figure it out because like it's all of Canada uses web forms, and nobody will have them in DocuSign, and we're all losing dot loop. So yeah, all of us together. So yeah, that's all I know about that right now. Go into web forms, test it out. It's not the end of the world.
You have an offer, and you have one side that's signed it already, and then you want to dot loop it. You're already scanning it, putting it in, so what,
Yes, that's true.
Scan
What
it
Jen
in your
said
DocuSign.
is if you have a deal come in from like another realtor, for example,
the clients
that was a
can't
paper
dot
copy,
loop
you have to
it.
upload it and then put in all those signatures and all those initials anyways.
So all the conditions, we can't just email to Gina, it has to go into this envelope. Is that what you mean, too? Like, cause nothing's gonna be paper for.
No,
her.
that's DocuSign, the envelopes.
Okay,
The opportunities,
Yeah.
the documents tab under that is where the compliance is going to happen in Command. But no, it doesn't have to come
We're
from
not doing that right
DocuSign.
away, right? We're just.
No, that's just coming. So if you
That's
want to
why
start
I've
playing
been
around with it,
submitting them, even though I'm doing the paper.
Yeah.
That way I'm kind of getting into a system now, so that when we do, I can back off the paper, and I know I'm doing it correctly with the electronic.
yeah, yeah.
so
So
eventually, it's not gonna be just simple email or pass in,
yes,
it's it's gonna be all in.
Eventually, you're going to have to go into your opportunity and upload the document.
It's super easy.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
there's no difference.
And
in
right, and
flyer.
now they have a multiple upload, so you can get your deal all ready, and then you click multiple documents, and then it's like sales record sheet, click it. For now, we are still using sales record sheets. Eventually, we'll move away from that too, but it's not quite set up for what we need. And then it's like purchase and sale. Okay, find that document on your computer or in your DocuSign account or in your .loop account if you continue to use it. So it's
And your commissions are right.
it's just
there
adjusting
eventually
how you're
that you'll be able
getting
to
the
submit,
documents.
right, too.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then you submit to Market Center. It doesn't just come to the MCA. They always say that. I don't look at your documents. Gina or maybe Brittany or Gail or Sammy or Laura, somebody in the province will be looking at them. That's ultimately where we're going with that. But
So with DocuSign, I understand that you only need one email. Like you don't, everyone doesn't need their own.
that I don't
remember
know.
reading or seeing this on, maybe someone told me this before. Like you don't need, like say if you got a husband and wife, you know, Dawn and
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, they can both sign out the same email.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, works separate.
we'll get Jen to test that.
Yeah.
I remember
sketchy, though.
Jonathan.
Yeah, I don't know about
Yeah.
On another Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do remember
We can
that.
play around with it, but
Because I did a deal with someone before, and they said, well, I used a program before where we didn't both need an email. So,
like as in you'd put the person's name in an email and then you put the other person's name in another email.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how we do it, like.
But
we
now it would
say.
You can't use the same one in .loop, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Loop has it set up that way, so you need separate ones.
Which
Okay.
makes sense, I can't imagine why they would allow somebody to sign on somebody else's email,
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
it's.
No, it didn't make sense to me either, but.
It'd be easier for us.
Well, I don't know, there's a lot of times, you know, you go, especially to like an older couple, they have, you know, maybe the husband
Yeah.
or the wife
They have like a
one or
Rogers
the other have an
email or
email.
something and that's it. No Hotmail, no Gmail.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know
Suggestion
the answer to that.
For
But I
people
can find
who
out.
haven't used web forms and want to ease themselves into it. So you can go on now and do everything in web forms and then just transfer it over to .loop. So it's making a little bit more work for you in the short term, but at least it would get you used to web forms before you also have to use web forms and DocuSign. So it's kind of similar to what Jen's doing at the other end of the paper process.
Well, you actually have to do it from web forms first, because I've tried filling out my forms in DocuSign, and you have to bring the text down to do it.
Yeah.
But in web forms, you can just go in, type, edit right there in web
Yeah,
forms,
you
so
could upload
you
the
wouldn't wanna
form,
do
but
it
then
any
you
other
have to
way,
fill in
because
all
it's
the text boxes.
too time
Yeah.
consuming to go bring your text down, type,
Oh,
bring your
yeah.
text down.
.loop, it just
Yeah.
took me
No,
forever to-
yeah.
So you have
Totally.
to fill it out
Go into
totally in web forms
if you're
first.
gonna use
I'd
it.
rather do it with pen and paper. It's
Yeah.
just so much quicker. Yeah.
Yes, and this is all because for electronic signatures, right? This is if you want to continue to use. We do have a lot of people using .loop, so we do have a lot of people who use paper, and you can still use paper, totally. This is if you want the electronic signature platform, like you have .loop. And it's integrated into Command, which is, so once you do the whole transaction in .loop, everything's signed, you can literally just pick and choose everything you need to upload into your checklist, basically. So, that's all I know about that. Jonathan will be back next week, we can ask him more questions. Maybe, I don't know actually, but he is home.
He's gone for 2 weeks.
No, he's home, he's in St. John today.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Okay. So I think that's about it, other than he said, talk about how wonderful your OP is.
Who's that?
Yeah. So anyways, yes, Austin's in Toronto, he'll be back tomorrow, or tonight, I guess, if his flight's not delayed. It's delayed a few times yesterday. Basically, that's all I got. We'll send out more information regarding DocuSign, and .loop's going away April 1st, and it's not an April Fool's joke, whoever said that. It's for real. Have any questions? Any comments? Anybody have any stories to share? Anything?
We don't want to lose .loop. That's my comment.
Okay, sign up then, start paying for it. Yeah, well, you guys have one house to look at. we're gonna have 10 next week, don't forget.
So, question, how many days to get the houses on the tour for you? We submit them to you or Gina?
Gina sends an email out. She wants them by 2 p.m. yesterday. And we alternate sides. So this week's the north side, next week's the south side. Yep. And then you just respond to her. I think it's 2. Is it still 2?
Yeah.
I just delete the email. Yeah, 2 p.m. the Monday before. So that's it. Just the Monday before. Yep. Anything else? All right. Well,
Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Good job.